Walter Karig. Walter Karig, November 13, 1898, September 30, 1956, was a prolific author who served as a U.S. naval captain. Karig wrote a number of works on Allied naval operations during World War II. He also wrote scripts for the television series Victory at Sea. Besides his works on naval history, Karig was a novelist, publishing under his own name, and a journalist. Early life and education. Walter Karig was born in New York, on November 13, 1898. He was the son of Martin and Elsie Ellis Karig. He received his early education in schools of New York City and studied art at the New York School of Fine Arts and École Julian in Paris, France. Career. For the Stratemeyer Syndicate, Karig wrote volumes in the Perry Pierce Series 2-4, Doris Force Series 3-4, and Nancy Drew Series 8-10. Karig did not seem to enjoy writing with the trio formula used by regular series ghostwriters. He brought back the chum Helen Corning from the earliest Nancy Drew books and featured her prolifically, while diminishing the roles of George Fane and Bess Marvin. While one of the volumes features a detailed account of college football, his contributions to the series place a large emphasis on Nancy choosing clothing and describing articles she owns or purchases. Karig revealed to catalogers at the Library of Congress he authored 3 Nancy Drew volumes, numbers 8, 9, 10, under the pseudonym of Carolyn Keene. This admission angered the series packager, the Stratemeyer Syndicate, who hid their ghostwriters behind syndicate-owned pen names. The publisher had no desire to reveal the true authorship of volumes in the various series. Stratemeyer's attorney threatened legal action against Karig for claiming authorship. Karig never again worked for the Stratemeyer Syndicate. Karig wrote detective fiction under the name Keats Patrick. Among Karig's many novels is Zotz, 1947, a satirical story dealing with an archaeologist and linguist, Dr. John Jones. After deciphering an inscription on an ancient disk, Jones is imbued with deadly powers. Jones can merely point at an animal or human, and they faint. If he utters the word Zotz while pointing his finger, the person or animal will die. Because the novel is set during World War II, there is a patriotic flavor to it. Also, much of the plot revolves around Jones' efforts to obtain an appointment to see President Franklin Roosevelt, with the hope that he can convince the president that the Allies can use his supernatural abilities to help the war effort. Karig wrote himself into the novel as a beleaguered naval officer working at a U.S. Navy Public Information Office, where dozens of people paraded by his desk daily trying to obtain appointments to meet with the highest authority in the United States government. Although Karig's novel is set in the then present, he manages to point out that humans have not changed much in millennia. Technology may have improved, but humans still have a strong desire to destroy and to kill. Thus Karig manages to blend a satire on wartime Washington, D.C., bureaucracy with ethical questions related to the advent of the nuclear war. The novel's name was inspired by Karig's meeting with a member of the Zotz family. Some years back I met a man whose last name was Zotz. The strange name was from Austria or Bavaria, where his ancestors came from. Immediately after hearing this name, it seemed a magic spell had been cast. I felt Zotz possesses magic power, and thus the title of my novel was born. The meaning of this strange name was a mystery even the bearer could not solve. I tried to find more information on this. One noted family of the name was from Peoria, Illinois, one member of which, a Zotz, went on to found the Deutsche Zeitung newspaper in America. When I finally learned that Zotz was the name of a Mayan bat god, I thought the proposed title of the book was perfect. After Karig's death, director William Castle released a film version of Zotz in 1962. The cast includes actors Tom Poston, Jim Backus, Margaret Dumont, Cecil Kellaway, and Louis Nye. The film deviates from Karig's authorial intents and becomes a vehicle for clever special effects. Walter Karig died in Bethesda, Maryland, on September 30, 1956. Books written. Series. Battle Report Collaboration. Battle Report Pearl Harbor to Carl C. 1944. Battle Report The Atlantic, War 1946. Battle Report Pacific War, Middle Phase 1947. Battle Report The End of an Empire 1948. Battle Report Victory in the Pacific 1949. Battle Report The War in Korea 1952. Nancy Drew as Carolyn Keene. Nancy's Mysterious Letter 1932. The Sign of the Twisted Candles 1933. The Password to Larkspur Lane 1933. Doris Force as Julia K. Duncan. Doris Force at Raven Rock 1931. Doris Force at Barry Manor 1931. Perry Pierce as Clinton W. Locke. Who Opened the Safe? 1931. Who Hid the Key? 1932. Who Took the Papers? 1934. Nonfiction. Asia's Good Neighbor 1937. War in the Atomic Age 1946. The Fortunate Islands, a Pacific Interlude 1948. The Battle Submerged. Submarine Fighters of World War II 1951, in collaboration with Rear Admiral Harley Cope Usen. Detective fiction as Keats Patrick. Death is a Tory 1935. The Pool of Death 1942. Novels. Lower Than Angels 1945. Zots 1947. Caroline Hicks 1951. Neely 1953. Don't Tread on Me 1954.